Hmm. Today we're playing a game called Thomas Was Alone. I know nothing about it, like at all. And I was thinking about giving you this whole little mini speech about the philosophy of blind runs versus, veteran runs, or I was again then going to drift. I was going to drift into the concept of the AAA industry, and the AA industry, and of course the indie space of the gaming industry, and all sorts of fun stuff. Like I had this whole speech plan. But there's this really weird thing I've noticed. If I talk about something relevant or on task or significant, then what will happen is I will push out an announcement video that nobody will watch and nobody will listen to or comment on. So instead today we're going to talk about meat, which has nothing to do with anything, but will probably actually get people to respond to this video. I was thinking about it last night because I was talking with my niece about this. What's your favorite type of meat? Now, for me, I could give you an answer, but honestly, it would be an unfair or incomplete answer because there's only really three types of meat I have access to on a regular basis: pork, chicken, and beef, because I'm limited by what I have available at the grocery store or at the local butcher, and I haven't actually lived next to a butcher for a couple of years at this point, so them's me options. All right, cool, so I have to pick from one of those three. Now, naturally, I would pick beef because cow is delicious, but then I started thinking about it. And I started realizing that most meat doesn't really have, at least of those three, doesn't really have much of a flavor of itself, right? Like, have you ever had just cooked chicken? Like, just take a slab of chicken or a chicken breast or whatever and just cook it. Don't add anything at all. Don't soak it in anything. Don't have a rub. Don't add any seasoning or spices. Don't put any breading. Nothing. Just chicken. It has a cardboard, right? And I started thinking about it, I was like, well, that's kind of what, like, plain beef doesn't really have much of a flavor either. Neither does plain pork. Why do I have a preference between these three things? And I think it's because what I'm actually thinking in my head is the average ways they tend to be served, right? Rather than just beef itself, its beef usually comes with X, Y, or Z, and that's why I tend to prefer beef overall, right? Just random food for thought. I don't know, you know me, because again, if I talked about anything on topic, like say the fact that one of the things I really enjoy about playing blind games like this is the ability to experience new and interesting things and hopefully either find a new developer or a new game that I never would have otherwise before, and be able to share that with other people and hopefully get more awareness for smaller projects, especially indie projects of the type and variety that don't really get the same exposure as the big names, because even amongst the indie space there are big names that has to do with how marketing tends to desaturate the market in order to try. Point being, I'm gonna cut myself off. Point being, what do you think? Favorite meat? Mm. What?